audio is being recorded on hands-free devices. What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Trucker Talk. My name's Amanda, and as usual, I'm here with my co-host, Crazy Ginger, and Cousin Grizzly. What's going on, guys? How you doing today?
Hey, everybody. It's your boy, Cousin Grizzly, coming to you live and in color from Rochester, Washington. And I am doing fan-fucking-tastic. How about y'all?
I'm doing all right there, Grizzly. Just chilling out over here at the Flying J in Carlisle, PA. Get to deliver my load tomorrow and be done with it. Get to go home next week. Can't wait.
Awesome. As usual, so nice to have you both with me here tonight. We have a very special guest with us today. Emphasis on the special. His name is Uncle Catfish. What's going on, Uncle Catfish? Nice to have you tonight.
Well, hello there, honey. This is Uncle Catfish. Not doing too bad. Just kind of hanging out down here to the house, down here in Senatobia, Mississippi. My nephew, Grizzly over there, he said y'all might want to have me on the show. So here I am. Hope to not disappoint.
Absolutely. Definitely a pleasure having you on the show, Uncle Catfish. Now, if some of you guys remember last week's episode, we had talked about gun control and how I had found an article stating that there may be some kind of new law passed that truckers are able to carry firearms state to state. And Cousin Grizzly over here took it upon himself to do some awesome research and came up with a very interesting find. So would you like to elaborate a little bit on your finding?
I most definitely would, baby cousin. Thank you for that. So in doing some research, what I came up with, the bill in question that had been brought to our attention is H.R. 38, also known as the Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act of 2017. Basically, the short version is that if this bill were to be signed into law, then anyone who held a valid concealed carry permit from any state would be legally able to carry their firearm in any other state. This bill was originally introduced by Representative Richard Hudson, the Republican representative from North Carolina, back in January of this year. And thus far, it has passed the House by a vote of 231 to 198. And after doing a little bit more digging on congress.gov, I have found that the most recent action taken on this was on December the 7th, when the bill was received in the Senate and referred to the Committee on the Judiciary for further scrutiny. Now, that being said, there has been one representative who has been trying to put a kink in things, and that would be the Democratic the Democratic representative from California, go figure, a guy by the name of Thompson, whose first name escapes me at the moment. But yeah, if this thing makes it past the Senate, and at that point it will then be presented to the president and hopefully signed into law, so that way people don't have to worry about getting in trouble for legally carrying their firearm from one state to the next.
Absolutely, absolutely. That is awesome news, and it's about damn time is what I have to say to that. What's your take on this, Ginger?
Yeah, pretty much exactly what you said. It's awesome, and it is well past time.
And speaking of well past time, another bit of information that I found during my research that I would like to bring to everyone's attention is the story of a young lady from Texas named Elizabeth Elderly. Back in 2015, Elizabeth, a former United States Marine, was visiting the September 11th Memorial in New York City when she came up to a security checkpoint, and when questioned, freely admitted that she was in possession of her legally owned 9mm and .380 caliber semi-automatic pistols. Now, from my personal perspective, a single woman in a strange city, and a lot of us know how strange New York City can be at times, I completely support her decision to carry her legally owned and valid permitted firearms. However, the NYPD did not see it that way, and this former U.S. Marine has been arrested, or was arrested now. This was back in 2015. And she was arrested on 2 counts of felony possession of a weapon and is facing 3.5 to 15 years in prison for nothing more than owning and carrying her illegal firearms in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, that's fucked up. You know, you could fight for our country, but don't ever try to protect yourself. That's insane. Yeah, definitely too little, too late, and hopefully with this law, hopefully it gets passed and she could get a little bit of justice here. Thank you so much, Cousin Grizzly, for that information.
My pleasure, baby cousin.
Yeah, that is definitely awesome information right there, Grizzly.
Thank you, Kyle.
Now, Uncle Catfish, we're going to do something a little bit different than we usually do on our podcast. We're going to play some trucker trivia. How do you feel about that, Uncle Catfish?
I'm sorry, honey, did you say we was going to play some trivia? Shit, I love me some trivia. Usually you find me sitting to the house parked in front of the TV watching, see, Jeopardy. And what's that other game show I like where they ask all the silly questions? The one with that boy with the ball. Steve Harvey, Family Feud. Yeah. I love me some trivia. Let's do this, baby. I'm ready.
Uh-oh, Crazy Ginger. Looks like we got some competition.
There is no competition with that white cracker catfish guy. Nah, I got him.
Well, first of all, son, Uncle Catfish ain't white. I hate to be the bearer of bad news there. I get any darker, the police are going to have to put flashlights on their bullets before they shoot at me. But just to clarify, it's not Uncle Cracker, it's Uncle Catfish Farnsworth III. Let me go ahead and spell that out for you. That's FARNZ, that's a W followed by another U, another R, and then 2 F's, followed by 3 I's, which is 1 more I than what they had in World War II when I served honorably at Guadalcanal. Thank you very much.
Wow, Uncle Catfish. Thank you for your service.
Oh, it's my pleasure, honey. I had to do something to get off the farm. This farm living wasn't for me at the time. See, because when I was a young man growing up on the farm, all I did down there was pick cotton and harvest watermelons. And it wasn't a bad way to grow up, but that's just what it was at the time.
Wow, that's quite the story, Uncle Catfish. You definitely lived the life.
Definitely sounds like it, that's for sure.
Oh, indeed I have, children. I got plenty more stories I could tell you. And I'll be happy to tell them to you anytime you want. But let's go ahead and get on with this trivia thing so I can kick this boy's ass over here.
All right, we have another surprise special guest that's going to do trivia with us. He's going to help kick Cousin Catfish, Uncle Catfish's ass over here. So we had to call in the backup.
Yeah, because we all know how that Ginger has been in special ed, and we don't know how too well he's going to do at that type of shit.
What's going on, Punisher? How you doing?
Oh, hell yeah. What's going on, everyone? How's everyone doing?
Doing pretty good, Punisher. Good to see you out on the show, man. No long time talk.
Hello there, Mr. Punisher. This is Uncle Catfish from Senatobia, Mississippi. How you doing tonight, son?
I'm doing all right. I'm just driving on home.
All right. So what we're going to do here is we are playing trucker trivia. And Uncle Catfish over here claims he is the king of trivia. So we have to call in the reserves to hopefully kick his ass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask each of you a question. And you are going to give me your best answer. If you get it right, you get a point. If not, somebody gets a chance to steal, but it's all for fun, so there's no prizes. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready if you are, Sugar Tits. Let's do this.
Pretty sure I'm ready, I think.
I'm all good to go. Shoot it on home.
All right, so we all know that Crazy Ginger here was in special ed. So we're going to go ahead and give him the easy question first. All right, Crazy Ginger, First question is, how many wheels are on an 18-wheeler?
I was told once it was like 17, but I believe it's 18 wheels.
All right, that's 1 point for Crazy Ginger, but we just gave that one to him because he's special. This next question is going to go to Uncle Catfish. Uncle Catfish, what is a freight shaker?
Well, honey, I'm not entirely sure, but if I had to take a guess, I would think it would be that thing that your late auntie's ass did when she would walk across the kitchen floor, man. I'm going to tell you, that thing would wibble like a bowl full of jelly.
I'm actually going to go ahead and give you a point for creativity because you're pretty damn close. All right, this next question is for Punisher. Punisher, what are willy wagons?
Well, you see, ma'am, I just started truck driving about 3 days ago, and that's pretty much all you need. I'm pretty sure that's when, next question.
All right, I have no idea what you thought there because it was all kind of like, I don't know, I think your headset is a little messed up. But, all right, we're going to go ahead and see if Crazy Ginger can steal that one. Crazy Ginger, what are willy wagons?
Are those the wagons with the disco lights on them?
Man, you guys suck at this game. All right, willy wagons are double or triple trailers. So, just write that one down. All right. Next question is for Uncle Catfish. Uncle Catfish, what does IFTA stand for? IFTA. What does IFTA stand for?
Oh, damn, honey, that's an easy one. I learned what IFTA meant when I was over there in Europe serving during World War II. I seen it when I was on a Liberty evening one night over there in Dublin. I happened to walk into this establishment looking for a cold drink, and come to find out I was in Ye Old Irish Gay Bar. And come to find out, to my horror, that IFTA stands for Irish Fairies Tickling Assholes.
Oh my gosh, close. That's close. That was pretty close, Uncle Catfish, but no, that's not correct. Punisher, you wanna steal this one from Uncle Catfish?
Negative.
All right, IFTA stands for International Fuel Tax Agreement, but I do like Uncle Catfish's IFTA better.
Yeah, I think it should be changed to that. Second, board.
All right, we'll give Punisher a point, just to get him on the board here. Okay, this one is for Crazy Ginger. Crazy Ginger, what is a pickle park?
Is that the park where all the pickles are at?
Oh my god, you guys are killing me here. Punisher, can you steal this one? What's a pickle park?
Oh, that's easy. A pickle polisher. That's where you go up to Mama's Crew, over there on the trailer with Frankie and all them, and where they're polishing each other's pickle. That's easy.
There you go. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. All right, this one's a good one for Uncle Catfish. Uncle Catfish, what is a willy weaver?
Well, honey, I'll tell you what a willy weaver is. I happened to be traveling on the trains one time, and I jumped in the wrong boxcar and found myself in there with a whole bunch of them. Now, I figured I could have took a couple of them, but there was this one that was a lot bigger than me, and he was looking at me like I was something to eat. And he walked over to me and he said, "Hey, boy, you ever had a man get to you before?" And I said, "No, and we ain't about to start." Well, he went and pulled his hog leg out on me, and I reached back, pulled my 45, and the next thing you know, he was flying out into the wind. So I'm going to say that a willy weaver is a bull queer.
You are not correct. A willy weaver is actually a drunk driver. I mean, you were kind of close, I guess. All right. I'll give you easy one. to Punisher. Punisher, what kind of trailer is a skateboard?
Well, gee, if I had to ask, I would have to phone a friend right now. So right now, what I want to do is, I'd have to say a flatbed.
Ding, 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 ding. Punisher's winning. Punisher has 3 points. Crazy Ginger has 1 point. And Uncle Catfish has 1 point. All right, guys, you're going to have to catch up to Punisher now. All right, this one is for Crazy Ginger. What is a yardstick referred to?
I believe that is a mile marker.
There you go. Just got you on the board now. All right, Crazy Ginger's catching up. 2 points. All right, this is the final question. First one to key up gets to answer first. All right. What is another name for a prostitute at a truck stop? And go.
Lot lizard. Final answer. Basically, what I'm trying to say is like a Prada, a nutty nurse, you know, something like that. Red light district, you know what I'm saying?
Punisher was quick on that one. Are you speaking from experience?
Well, I just started truck driving like 3 days ago, like I told you. And this very nice lady, I mean, she only had 3 teeth. And she looked like kind of bum, like her clothes were very dirty. And she asked me if she needed any company. I'm like, well, come on in, honey.
Did she show you a good time? With her 3 teeth? Oh my gosh, that's disgusting. Well, Punisher won. So what do you have to say about that, Uncle Catfish? You talked a big game and you just got beat.
Well, sweetheart, it wouldn't be the first time I've been beat like a rented slave. So you win some, you lose some, but you never know until you try.
Now, Uncle Catfish, I hear you frequent lot lizards. Is this true?
Well, no, honey, I don't frequent the lot lizards. They tend to attempt to frequent me. I'll tell you a story. Happened to me one time. I was down at this place somewhere down in the California desert. I was sitting there in my truck, just minding my own business, had my window down, sitting there smoking a cigarette, like I do. And this young lady comes up to me and she says, "Excuse me." I looked over at her and I said, "Yeah?" She says, "Would you like some company?" "No, thank you, ma'am. I'm married." And then she proceeds to unzip her little coat just a little bit. And then she says, "How about now?" No, that's mighty sweet of you, honey, but no, thank you. I'm good. And then she unzips it a little bit more and says, "How about now?" "Ma'am, I appreciate the offer, but no, I can't." And then at that point, she completely unzipped the coat and threw it open and had the 2 longest deflated orangutan-looking titties I've ever seen in my...
See, was it just me, or was anybody else expecting Uncle Catfish to say that that his little girl over there flopped out a big giant dick?
I'm thinking I might have heard the same.
Well, if she had, honey, I'd have been ready for her. But I'll tell you another story. There was this one time, this fellow was trying to sell this mule, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to show you a trick. Watch this." So I walked over and I whispered something in the mule's ear, and the mule started laughing. And then just a second or 2 later, I made the mule cry. And the guy says, "Hey, what'd you do to my mule to make him laugh?" And I said, "I told that mule my pecker was bigger than his." And he says, "Bullshit. Well, how'd you make him cry?" I said, "I showed him."
So, Punisher.
Yeah, so Punisher. It's actually really nice to have you on with us, Punisher. It's been a minute since we've talked to you. What have you been up to? Well, I've just been informed that Punisher actually stepped out to take a shit. So, yeah, I guess we will have to catch up with him later. It's a normal bodily function, you know. Everybody has to do it once in a while.
Right on. Yeah, that Taco Bell gets to you after a while.
Yeah, I heard that. I stopped in this place the other day. I took a shit so hard I went cross-eyed and saw spots before my eyes. I was expecting to look up and see St. Peter looking at me.
Well, that sounds pretty fucking serious there, I tell you. I mean, sometimes I like to get in the handicap, stalls for extra support, but damn.
Oh, hell yeah, son. Them handicap stalls, that's the best place in the world to take a shit. You got all the room in there. You can stretch your legs out. You got the bar there for power squeezing and shit. I don't know about you, son, but I tend to sit there for a while till my legs fall asleep. So it's good to have them bars there to be able to help tote myself up off the toilet. So that way I don't fall and bust my ass, and then somebody call 911 and they come in there and they find my fat ass laid on the ground with my drawers around my ankles, and I got shit pouring out my ass because I ain't even been able to wipe because I can't stand up straight.
I tell you, I feel the pain. I feel it.
Honestly, I mean, I've taken some serious shits in my time, but I can't say that has ever happened to me, Uncle Catfish. That's pretty intense.
I'll tell you what's really bad, honey, is the protein shits. Now, I don't know if you've ever taken a shit so hard that it felt like you were trying to give birth out your asshole to a petrified pine cone, but you load up on a bunch of protein. I'm talking about steak, chicken, eggs, fish. You load up on all that for about 3 or 4 days, and you don't go in there and have you a bowel movement, you're going to be hating life when that time finally comes, because that son bitch is coming one way or another, and it's going to take your damn O-ring with you when it goes. You end up like my friend Bubba with one of them damn colostomy bags, walking around with a bag of shit taped to his leg.
Speaking of shit, I know cousin Grizzly over there has been gone for a minute.
Yeah, he's in the bathroom right now. Last I heard from him, right before we started the trivia, he stopped at a place earlier and said he had him a couple of jalapeno cheddar dogs for lunch and chased that down with a can of Pringles. This big old fat ass. I swear that boy will eat 3 square meals and call it a snack and then go back for seconds 10 minutes later.
Yeah, that'll do it. Them death dogs right there. Don't even stay away from those. But anyway, let's get back on the rails here. Monday was the first day since the ELOG mandate. Now, I've been noticing a lot more trucks at the truck stops and parking pretty much everywhere. Have you guys noticed anything different?
Most definitely. Just like you said, I mean, it's odd pulling into a truck stop around 12 o'clock and seeing half of the truck stop pretty much full, which was never before. That's definitely a change.
Yeah, I noticed this morning, I was driving down the Ohio Turnpike, and, if you've ever driven down the Turnpike, you know that there's, like emergency pull-off areas, like every 30, 40 miles. Every single one of those was full with semi-trucks, and there's a huge parking shortage, and I really feel like they should have thought this through before they put this mandate on everybody, because there's just not enough parking for everybody to be shut down.
I feel it's going to just get worse because, there's a lot of us that are on it now, but there's still a lot that have been exempt and, have extra time to get their shit together or whatnot. But, it's definitely something they didn't think through, and it's only going to get worse.
Hey, everybody, your boy Cousin Grizzly's back. What'd I miss? What are we talking about?
Well, your uncle there, Uncle Catfish, had a nice long conversation and shared some very personal information about himself. But right now we're talking about the ELOG mandate. It went into effect Monday, and we're talking about the parking situation that is occurring.
Oh, yeah, the parking situation absolutely sucks. Hell, around here where I work, if you're not backed into a spot by 4:30 local time at a truck stop, you're probably not getting a place to park there. That's why most nights, like tonight, I'm parked at a rest area. If I had felt like going the distance, I'd be parked at a Walmart. Actual nights parked in a truck stop are few and far between for me, because that would require me to knock off work way too early. because I can only make my deliveries between a certain window during the day. I mean, the earliest I can deliver at most places is 7 a.m., and then most of the places are done by 6. So if I park and call it a day at 4:30 at a truck stop, I'm going to have people calling me going, hey, you can still be working. Why are you stopped?
Exactly. And it's like you said, I am noticing now, you know, the truck stops are getting full a lot earlier, and people are just kind of parking anywhere that they can. And it kind of sucks because there's a lot of states that have laws that will not allow you to park on the shoulder. So, you know, they're going to be ticketing all these truck drivers when we literally have nowhere to park anymore.
Exactly. See, and that's one thing that really pisses me off, especially when I go down to California, because most of the places that I deliver to are Walmarts, and there's a lot of Walmarts down there that are cool, but when you get closer to the San Francisco Bay Area or closer to Los Angeles or closer to any real major metropolitan area, almost all the Walmarts down there, they all have their signs posted: no truck parking, no overnight parking, no RV parking, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I get the no RV parking. If you've got homeless people camping out in an RV, you know, pissing and shitting in your parking lot and being a nuisance, you know, yeah, I wouldn't want them there either. But the fact of the matter is, and especially for us, if I'm required to be there to deliver your products and my e-log says that I'm out of time and I need to park and go off duty, and there's no truck stop within, you know, 40, 50, sometimes 100 miles, I've got to have somewhere to park. So at that point, I'll find somewhere to park and I'll park it. And I have dared rent-a-cops to do something about it. Like I've seen people standing outside my truck, like taking pictures of my truck, taking pictures of my license plate, taking pictures of me, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, dude, come up and say something to me. I want you to, you know, if you want me to move and you want me to violate federal law by going over my hours that are electronically logged, then I'm going to need the name and badge number of a policeman, so that way I can explain it to my compliance department why I had to violate and drive 100 miles away to go find a truck stop or a rest area or someplace where I could park and sleep and not be bothered.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I can't even tell you the number of shippers and receivers that I deliver to that have signs everywhere. No overnight parking, no overnight parking. But yet they have no problem keeping me there 6, 7, you know, hours, just wasting my clock away. By the time I leave there, I have nowhere else to go, you know? So it's definitely a huge problem. Definitely. What do you think, Ginger?
Yeah, I feel your problem right there, Amanda, with the, you know, receivers and shippers, you know. I think they take way too much time trying to load us or unload us or whatever. I mean, they really should be under a law to where they have to get us unloaded within an hour or get us loaded within an hour. I mean, you know, that just seems fair. If we're underneath the clock, they should be underneath the clock as well, you know? That's just how I feel about it.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's what we were talking about earlier is, you know, the e-logs wouldn't be a problem if shippers and receivers got us in and out in a reasonable amount of time. The problem comes, you know, we have a 14-hour rule. That's bullshit, in my opinion. It needs to go away. We have 14 hours to work. So if I'm at a shipper for 7 hours, half my day's gone, you know? So if I'm on a clock, they should be on a clock. Absolutely.
Yeah, they really need to look into that, you know, 14-hour clock and hours of service right there. I mean, they really need to really look into that.
See, I agree with you guys about the whole 14-hour clock thing being fucked up and about how shippers and receivers can just completely fuck you guys over, you know, by keeping you there half the day. The job I have right now, I don't really deal with that because y'all know that I make multiple stop deliveries and I'm usually in and out of a place. The longest I'll ever be at any one place is usually about an hour. I showed you guys, I took a screenshot and sent it to you guys earlier of the run that I'm on right now. You know, starting tomorrow morning when I get to my first stop, I've got 18 stops I've got to make before I'm done and I turn and head back to my yard. But yeah, I've done, you know, line haul, regional, over the road, just like you guys did. And there were times when I'd be at places for 5, 6, 7 hours. And, you know, I made the mistake of listening to some of the more seasoned drivers at the previous companies that I worked for. And the advice that they would give me is, well, whenever you're parked and you're getting loaded, getting unloaded, whatever, go off duty and save your clock. Okay, at the time it made sense to me because I'm thinking, all right, well, if I can save my clock, because at the time I wasn't entirely sure how the rules, you know, about the 14-hour and this and that and all that worked. You know, I just knew if I went on duty or went into drive mode and I still had time, I could still go. Now that I've learned a lot more how it works, you know, I don't really go with that. And the other pain in the ass with it is that if I'm sitting somewhere for 6, 7 hours off duty, you know, waiting to get loaded, there's a good chance I'm not getting paid any detention time. So I'm basically sitting there on my own time with my dick in my hand, not getting paid. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't do shit for free. That's why the company I work at now, if I have any sort of delay or anything, I'm fucking paid from the minute the delay starts till the minute it ends.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, or even with most of the companies now that do pay detention, you sit there for 2 hours before they could even start your detention. So it's usually like $25 an hour after the first 2 hours. So you're literally sitting there for 2 hours, not getting paid for it. Another thing I wanted to touch base on was the whole going off duty while you are getting loaded or unloaded. Supposedly, it's illegal to go off duty if you are at the dock getting loaded or unloaded. You're supposed to be marked as on duty during that time, which is complete bullshit to me.
It is, but per the letter of the law, the way that it's written, that's basically what it is. If you get pulled into a chicken coop and an overzealous fucking diesel cop wants to be a dick and go through your shit, and they'll say, well, why were you sitting at this one place off duty for 5 hours? Well, I don't know, just because I wanted to take a 5-hour nap or something, you know? I mean, they can go through your shit and they can really fuck your shit up if they put their mind to it. Same thing at the company I work at. I am absolutely forbidden from working off the clock, primarily because I hump all my own freight in and out of the trailer. And if I'm doing something like back in October, I hurt my back on a delivery. Now, there have been times when I've been getting close to the time where I've had to take my 30-minute break, and I'll pull up somewhere and say, all right, I know I'm going to be here at least 30 minutes. I'm going to go off duty, get my 30-minute break out of the way, get this delivery made, and then get back in the truck. And as soon as my 30 minutes up, I'll go back on duty, and then I'll go into my little onboard computer, arrive, do this, do that. Okay, I'm out. On the computer, if you look at it really close, it looks like I was in and out in less than a minute, which is complete bullshit. But after the stop that I had back in October, where I pulled the fuck out of a muscle in my back and ended up having to spend 26 days on light duty working in the office, I'm not fucking doing that again. Because there would come a time when I'd pull up somewhere and go off duty and think, okay, I'll go make this delivery real quick, nothing's going to happen. And then I get hurt. And then they go back and they look and they say, oh, you were off duty during that time. Guess what? You're fucked. So, yeah. No, sorry, not going to do it.
Yeah, I hear you there, Grizzly. You know, it's really fucked up. But, you know, I'll add one quick thing. You know, some companies are pretty fucked up. And I just don't understand how it works, you know, that, you know, the DOT has their own regulations and way things go, but companies will have policies. Like my policy with the company I'm currently with is we log 15 minutes while we're at the shipper or receiver, and that's it. We go off duty and we are not to show any sort of on duty whatsoever. that's their thing. We log our pre-trips and post-trips and log, when you're at shippers and receivers for 15 minutes, and that's it.
Yeah, that's with me too. Whenever I get there, I'll just stay on duty for about 15 minutes, and then I'll go into the sleeper. So, from what I get, as long as you log that you're on duty at least for 15 minutes, they usually don't mess with you. But like Cousin Grizzly said too, if they really wanted to be a dick about it and be fucking super DOT cop, they could. But so far, so good. So, fingers crossed. But anything to add on this, Punisher? I see you came back from taking your little shit over there.
I'll tell you what, the Browns had to take them to the Super Bowl real quick, and I'm going to say that they got demolished. But like I said, I just started driving 3 days ago, and I had a blowout the other day, and I tried to call my mechanic. His name's Bradley, and he brought his bicycle pump, his car jack, and his patching kit, and I got a little confused. Is it legal to drive like that still?
So, let me get this straight. Your mechanic brought a bicycle pump to fix a blown-out tire. Did he fix it? I'm curious. Did he fix it? Did it work?
I mean, it's a little wobbly or whatever, especially when I hit turns. But it seemed to do the trick. He put his patch on the sidewall on the steer tire. I think that's right. The ones that are in front of the semi, right? I think that's what they're called, the steer tires.
No, yeah, the steer tires. Now, what kind of patch did he bring? Like a patch for your jean jacket, or what kind of patch are we talking about here?
The black or the African American one. The one you put on your regular size car tires and whatnot,
I think you should be good. If it's a little wobbly, just take a hammer and just hit it a little bit. But, if you go by a weigh station that says open, just drive right through it. Don't even worry about stopping.
All right, I'll just use my VIP endorsement that he gave me on top of it. So I think we'll be good. But, yeah, that's all I got to add. And y'all have a wonderful evening.
Awesome, Punisher. Good luck to you out there. Congratulations on just getting your CDL. And, yeah, use that VIP pass as much as you can. Even, you get pulled over, just show them the pass. You should be good to go.
Well, just like my trainer told me when we first started driving, trucking's pretty hard or whatnot, but all you really need is 3 days behind the wheel, and you pretty much know everything. I mean, I think I might even go for my pilot's license next, because I was told that driving a semi is a lot harder than even driving a helicopter.
Hey, Brother Punisher, question for you. That VIP endorsement you got, did that come with the aviator sunglasses and the flip-flops and the fingerless gloves, or did you have to purchase those separately?
Oh, exactly. Like you had them done too. I even got the bedazzled vest with the pop gun.
Oh, sweet Jesus, not the bedazzled vest. Did you get the matching track pants to go with it?
Well, every Tuesday night is a Tejano night or whatever, and I like to go to the YMCA on those nights, so it matches my outfit on those days,
Well, it sounds like you are on your way to being the #1 super trucker. So congratulations to you, Punisher. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and an honor to be speaking to you right now.
Right.
Well, I think we are past our half-hour, 45-minute limit. So I'm going to go ahead and give this next segment over to our Cousin Grizzly. He's going to do Cousin Grizzly's jokes against humanity. Are we ready for this? I don't know. I'm a little scared.
I think we're ready.
All right, boys and girls, it's time for Cousin Grizzly's jokes against humanity. Baby cousin Amanda, what did the blind girl say after her boyfriend got done blowing his wad right in her eye?
What? What did she say?
Nothing. She never saw it coming.
But that wasn't that bad. I think last week's was worse.
I mean, if you want me to do a mulligan, you want me to do a do-over, I can certainly pull something a lot worse out of my ass.
Oh, no. No, I don't want to see what you can pull out of your ass. I will take your word for it. But as always, it was a pleasure Thanks so much for coming on and doing the trivia with us today, Punisher. And Cousin Grizzly, always a pleasure. And who else? Wait, we totally forgot about Uncle Catfish. Uncle Catfish, thanks for joining us this evening. And Crazy Ginger, of course, pleasure.
Yeah, it was awesome talking to y'all, and I hope you all enjoy the holidays that are coming up, because we will be taking a break for the holidays and won't be back until after the holidays. So y'all enjoy.
Pleasure's all mine. It was interesting meeting y'all. Y'all have yourself a wonderful evening.
And thank you, Amanda, for having me on the show, giving me a chance to spread some of my words of wisdom out there to the listening public. It's been a pleasure. Maybe I have to come back and try to do this again sometime if I don't catch me a heart attack and catch the train to Glory Land. But yeah, it's been fun. Thank you for having me. All right, Unc, thanks for being on the show. Appreciate it. Loved having you. I hope he behaved himself, if anybody's still listening to this train wreck at this point. But yeah, that's your boy Cousin Grizzly saying ta-ta and farewell, and we'll holler at you after the new year. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, joyous Saturnalia, etc., whatever hollow fucking holiday seasonal festive platitude fits in here. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yes, we will be taking a break until January 5th. So we will see you guys